We live in an age that counts everything: calories, followers, profits, losses. But what if the things that truly matter can't be counted? A recent global review on inequality and well-being reveals a strange paradox. Humanity has never been richer, yet health gaps have never been wider. People own more, but feel less secure. They live longer, but not necessarily better. Our modern world has mastered production, but it has forgotten proportion. Economists call this imbalance, philosophers call it excess, but the ancients called it something else: forgetfulness, forgetting what wealth was ever supposed to mean in the first place. Judaism offered one of the earliest definitions of richness that had nothing to do with money, Ashir, who has semich bishelko *. The rich one is the one who rejoices in what he has. In that simple sentence lies a quiet rebellion: happiness as wealth, contentment as a form of resistance. But Judaism also tied wealth to righteousness through the concept of *tzedakah*. This isn't just charity, it's a matter of justice. *tzedakah* is giving because the world demands balance, not because you feel pity. It's the act that keeps abundance circulating, preventing it from hardening into greed. In Jewish thought, *tzedakah* is even considered a singular for asha*, a spiritual conduit for blessing and prosperity. Not because giving bribes heaven, but because generosity realigns the soul with the flow of creation itself. And modern research echoes this ancient wisdom. Communities that share, volunteer, and practice mutual responsibility show higher well-being, lower stress, and longer life expectancy. Maybe faith was just data before we called it data. Islam carried that truth forward and gave it structure. The zakatan obligation to give is one of the 5 pillars of the faith. It's not simply an act of charity, but a form of purification. In Arabic, the word zakat itself means to grow or to purify. The act of giving doesn't reduce your wealth, it refines it, cleansing it of greed. The Quran warns that unchecked wealth corrupts not just the soul but society as a whole. And again, modern data agrees. Where inequality widens, social problems like violence and illness inevitably follow. Faith had already designed a social welfare system centuries before economics even gave it a name. Christianity, born in the shadow of mighty empires, declared, "Blessed are the poor in spirit." This wasn't a call to embrace misery, but to find freedom in humility. The early Christian communities pooled their possessions. They believed that wealth should serve the community, not rule over the individual. Today, research parallels this idea perfectly. When economies grow faster than empathy, social ills like loneliness and despair grow right alongside them. The comfort we chase, when it becomes an idol, transforms into a cage. In Hinduism, wealth has a divine face, the goddess Lakshmi. She embodies prosperity, but she only visits places where righteousness, or *dharma*, dwells. Wealth must serve a higher, ethical purpose. The ancient Vedas warned, where wealth is worshipped without wisdom, destruction follows. Modern evidence couldn't be clearer on this point. Profit pursued without ethics erodes education, health, and the very trust that holds society together. We build civilizations rich enough to buy the most advanced medicine, but we become too sick with distraction to remember why health matters. Buddhism begins with a diagnosis. Desire is the root of suffering. The Buddha never condemned wealth itself, he condemned our attachment to it. In the middle way, moderation becomes the medicine. Modern psychology echoes this ancient teaching, showing that our well-being depends far less on our absolute income and far more on our sense of having enough. The monks call this peace. The data calls it equity. From Jerusalem to Mecca, from Rome to Varanasi, from Bodh Gaya to Wall Street, humanity wrestles with the same paradox. We know what makes us whole, yet we constantly trade it for more. Wealth itself is not the problem, but when it becomes our identity, our morality turns into a marketing slogan. The global review I mentioned concludes that inequality isn't just economic, it's biological. It literally kills, through stress, malnutrition, anxiety, and decay, and the cure. The study points to generosity, community, and gratitude, the very same remedies every major faith prescribed long before we started dismissing them as soft values. Judaism reminds us to rejoice in our portion and to give. Islam reminds us to purify our wealth. Christianity reminds us to serve others. Hinduism reminds us to find balance. And Buddhism reminds us to let go of our attachments. 5 great traditions, 5 profound definitions of enough. And still, we forget because wisdom means nothing if it isn't lived. Maybe richness was never about accumulation, but about attention, about what we choose to nurture and protect. We have the power to build a world where money circulates like blood, giving life, not taking it. But first, we must remember the ancient commandment whispered through prophets, sages, and now, even scientists. Be responsible for one another. That is real wealth. Everything else is just accounting. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content that explores these vital ideas. Your support helps us continue the conversation.